All right, guys. Yes, Cloak and Dagger are coming to Marvel Strike Force. We already knew that already, right? We saw these social media images on Twitter, Facebook, what we saw on YouTube as well. This Cloak and Dagger coming to Marvel Strike Force, going to be a part of this new Warriors team here with Deathpool. This team does look quite amazing. I'm not gonna lie to you. In today's video, we're gonna go through the kit reveal for Cloak and Dagger. We're gonna talk about how this new Warriors team is going to work together as a 3-unit, and potentially some other characters that you could definitely use with them. As you can see in this video footage right now from the developers, they are using this new Warriors team with both Doom and Silver Surfer, and it definitely does work quite well. We're actually going to go through some of the other footage in these Doom skill mystic raids, not skill raid, these Doom mystic raids where the team does perform quite well. And then of course we're going to also go through, this is actually new for us, we're going to go through the hero uniques as well that you're going to need to upgrade these characters, Cloak, Dagger, and Deathpool, to get them to gear tier 14 or gear tier 15. Well, of course you got to get them to gear tier 13 first, but we're going to talk about that in this video as well. And is this team going to be a must-have team? That's definitely one of the concerns. Is these Doom 2 raids are going to be coming out at some point in time in Marvel Strike Force. Is this going to be the team that you are going to need in order to be able to get that content done in Marvel Strike Force? We're going to talk about that and so much more, guys, in this video, and we're going to start right now. All right, so first let's take a look at Cloak and Dagger here, what they're going to look like in the game, and then we're going to go over their stats really quickly. So as you can see here, Cloak, he is going to have the Hero City Mystic controller and that new warrior tag. Let's jump over to the stats. He's currently at 80 gear tier 15, as you can see, with seven yellow stars and 4 red stars. Let's take a look at what the stats look like in game for him. This usually is, by the way, with Star Tech. The video footage that we're going to show in these Doom Mystic raids, I keep on saying Doom skill raids, these Doom Mystic raids are going to have them with 0 Star Tech. So just kind of looking at that for reference as we kind of continue to go through this video here. So in terms of health, 299k, decent health. There's going to be some dodge and evades here in his kit, so that's going to help him to be able to stay alive. Damage 19k, not anything crazy. 15k on the armor, 15k on the focus, which is actually going to go really well for him. There's a lot of debuffs that he's applying, so that focus is actually going to be very important. 10k on the resistance, and then of course speed, 120 speed. That's pretty good in this game, so that looks fine. Let's take a look now at Dagger, what her stats look like and how she's going to look in the game, and then taking a look at Dagger in the game. Same stats here, level 80 with gear tier 15, same level and gear tier. Remember, this is 25% Star Tech given on these characters. Let's take a look at what her stats will look like in the game. Let's talk about her tags first. Actually, she's Hero City Mystic, and she's a support character. So Cloak controller, and then Dagger is a support character, and of course having that new warrior tag. When we take a look at these stats, definitely jumps out a little bit more for you in terms of health, which is what you expect from a support character, right? At 7 and 4, 374,000 health. Her damage, pretty good, I would say, for a support character, 25k in terms of damage. Her armor, 10,000. As you continue to scroll down here, focus, 10,000, resistance, 11,000. And then we're going to get the speed here, 113 on the speed. So looking pretty good for Dagger, as I can say so far. But let's go take a look at those kits. And then, like I said, we're going to go through that Doom Mystic raid footage a little bit later on. All right, guys, so we're going to go through the kit here for both Cloak and Dagger. And I will say that they both work very well together. This is definitely a tandem that you're going to want to keep as a tandem, right? Always going to want to use them together as best as you possibly can. I do want to point out, I kind of like once over this, right? Their hero, their city, and that city one is pretty big. If you're sort of a newer player here, you're looking for some options to get through the Hero 7-1. Them having the Hero City tag will definitely probably help you where that's concerned. Both of these characters do have the Hero and City tag. Of course, they have Mystic, so we know that they're probably going to be this new Doom skill Mystic raid option. I keep on saying skill, Mystic raid option here. Hero uniques, let's talk about that really quickly here. So if you're looking to upgrade Cloak Dagger, if you're later game, right, and Deathpool, if you're looking to bring these characters up to gear tier 13, 14, and 15, the hero uniques for these characters that you're going to need. So for Cloak and Deathpool, they both take Miasma, which I know you're probably depleted on if you took up Adam Warlock to gear tier 15. If you probably just recently got Doom, you probably are out of the Miasma there, but just want to kind of give you what the hero uniques for these characters are going to be. Deathpool and Cloak are going to be Miasma, and then Dagger, she is going to take that Tesseract energy here. So those are some of those hero uniques that you're probably going to want to farm, or probably going to want to grab. You're probably already grabbing them anyways, but just kind of giving you that heads up that those are the pieces that you are going to need to get them upgraded. But let's start off with the kit here. We're actually going to start off with Cloak first, and we're going to go through his passive ability. So hold on, let me make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to read. So passive, Dark Force Conduit. At the end of this character's turn, 50% chance to steal 5% health from the most injured enemy and in all adjacent enemies to redistribute to self. Now, if Dagger is an ally, he's always going to steal 5% health from the most injured enemy and all adjacent enemies and redistribute to self and all allies. So that's a big deal. Helps with the sustain of the team here. In raids, when an enemy gains offense down, now this is a big one. So if you're using characters already like Ebony Maw, if you're even I know some players are using Moon Knight. Moon Knight with his ultimate ability can apply that offense down to the enemy team. If when they get that offense down, he's going to reduce the speed bar of that enemy by 15%, which is definitely a big deal. Reducing the speed bar, being able to save yourself some time there is absolutely a big deal with this team. Gain 40% focus. If Dagger is an ally, gain an additional 30% focus. So we saw the focus already is pretty high. It gets even higher when he has Dagger on the team. Mystic hero allies also benefit because you're going to be getting that 40% focus as well, which of course is big to be able to land those debuffs, that offense down, which is going to be a big one. Ability block if you're using Silver Surfer, all that jazz, right? And then gain 20% dodge chance. If Dagger is an ally, then you're gaining an additional 10% dodge chance. And then down here in raid specifically, you're gaining 15% damage. New warrior allies gain plus 15% damage. And then while this character has offense up, you're gaining 20% additional dodge chance. So if you're calculating all the dodge chances here, you're getting in total a 50% dodge chance when you are in these raids. Outside of raids, you're getting that 30% dodge chance there on Cloak. Now, ultimate ability, some interesting stuff here. Shadow Assault. Number one, getting this on turn 1, 5 out of 5. It is a 5-turn cooldown, so keep that in mind. 5 out of 5 here. Attack all enemies for 280% damage, plus apply 3 random negative effects from this list. So 3 random negative effects. Not a surprise here. We have blind, we have defense down, we have disrupted, and there we go. We have that offense down, right? So I remember I said if you have Ebony Maw, if you have Moon Knight already built up, then you could take advantage of this here with the offense down. Well, guess what? You probably won't really need to do that because he can do the offense down himself, and then he's also going to be able to apply slow. So I will say this, the combination of offense down that reduces the speed bar by 15%. This is to all enemies, by the way. And then, of course, applying that slow. I mean, the turns that you're going to be able to take and the advantage that you're going to have here with having Cloak is definitely going to be big. Now, this one is a really interesting one, right? Apply 1 vulnerable up to a maximum of 5 to all enemies. This is the first character that we're seeing that can do an ISO attack without having an ISO on them. So this is actually pretty big, and he's doing this to all enemies. So this works up. This is going to be interesting. You're going to see how this works here in that Doom Mystic Raid footage. And if Dagger is an ally, additionally attack all enemies for 380% piercing. And you're going to, so this is an additional attack. So you're going to see both Dagger and Cloak team up in those Doom Mystic Raids. We're going to go through that footage later on. Like, I'm going to keep on talking about the footage because I do think that it's pretty telling here what they're going to be able to do. Apply 1 offense down, once again, to a maximum of 5 enemies. Special ability, Umbral Embrace, gets this on turn 1 as well. 3 out of 3, so only a 3-turn cooldown. Clear all positive effects from primary target and attack the primary target for 300% damage and apply slow for 2 turns, plus defense down for 2 turns. And then once again, here we go, guys, with applying that offense down for 2 turns again. I'm getting an assist at 50% damage from Dagger. So as you can see, pretty much basically in every attack so far, ultimate, special, he's gaining an assist from Dagger. So these two characters, you're going to want to use them together for sure. And then with the basic, apply assist now to one random Dagger ally, attack the primary target with 300% damage, plus apply offense down again. So here you are seeing it again. Now, the developer notes on Cloak is that he's a high focus and resistance character. A control that debuffs enemies on each ability, keeping the team weighted down with negative effects. He essentially gets 2 attacks each turn, which is definitely the one that we should talk about. One of the things that we should definitely highlight here, right? Each one of his attacks, you're going to be getting an assist or a team up here from Dagger, which is a big deal. Combined with Dagger, all his abilities hits harder. He either calls her to assist or the team attacks with her. ISO recommendations, they talked about going with Skirmisher. He's going to be applying that vulnerable on that ultimate ability, but outside of that, would be good to also have him land that vulnerable and stick that as well. But let's go up to Dagger and talk about her abilities. She also has the Hero City Mystic support. She's a support character, which you're going to see a lot here within her kit. Now, on her passive ability, Life Force Generation, Unspawn, she's applying 3 regeneration for 2 turns to self and all Mystic Hero allies. So that's a big one on there, that it's not just the New Warriors team. On turn, she's applying offense up to self and all adjacent allies. So remember, whenever Cloak got that offense up, right? We see it here in his kit. Whenever Cloak does get that offense up, he also gains an additional 20% dodge chance. So you're going to definitely so Dagger is actually going to contribute to giving offense up to Cloak if you have him as an adjacent ally. On turn, 50% chance to gain evade, and if Cloak is an ally, always gains evade. This one was interesting because Cloak technically for me seems more of the evade character. Yes, he's getting the dodge chance, but I feel like it would have made more sense just like from a comics perspective if Cloak was the one that had the evade. Either way, either there, either here or there, whatever, right? Gain 50% resistance, plus 50% resistance. If Cloak is an ally, gain 30% additional resistance, and then Mystic Hero allies gain 50% resistance. And then in raids, gain 15% damage. So she's given additional damage as well. And then New Warriors allies also gaining 50% damage. So let's take a look at the ultimate ability. So this is a 3 out of 5. She doesn't get this on turn 1. She will need some ability energy to get that done here. But attack all enemies for 380% piercing, plus apply offense down. So once again, those offense downs, this team is doing it all. Up to a maximum of 5 to all enemies. So offense down, reducing that speed bar by 15%. If Cloak is an ally, additionally attack all enemies for 280% damage. So she's returning the favor, right? She's returning the favor whenever Cloak does this ultimate ability. She's teaming up with him, and now whenever she does her ultimate ability, Cloak is teaming up with her as well. Apply 3 random negative effects from this list. What a surprise! We're gonna see blind, defense down, disrupted, and once again that offense down, and of course that slow. And then she is also as well applying this one vulnerable up to a maximum of 5 to all the enemies on the other side as well. And then special ability, energy cost 5 out of 5. It is a 5-turn cooldown. Attack the primary target for 320% piercing, plus clear all positive effects. So that's pretty big. If you're going up against some of those tanks or some of those characters that definitely have a lot of positive effects, that's pretty big. Chain to 4 adjacent targets for 290% piercing, and then on crit, clear 3 random negative effects. Clear heal block from all Mystic Hero allies. Wow, that's a big one, right? And then heal all allies for 20% of this character's max health. So far, very good. She definitely looks like a raider to me with the multi-hit attacks here, and of course that extra crit. That definitely does seem like the way to go with her. And then on the basic attack the primary target with 50% piercing. So she's doing a lot of piercing damage. All 3 of her attacks do piercing damage here. Apply 2 bleed, apply 2 regeneration to the most injured allies or self, and then apply assist now to random Cloak allies. So she's getting assists here from Cloak on 2 of her attacks. She's doing the piercing damage. Now, the developer notes on her is that this character's defining attributes high focus or hit points. Dagger has high health, which keeps her alive nicely, but contributes well to her team healing, which is definitely true. Damage is good, and all of her attacks are piercing, right? All piercing goes past armor. In combination with the negative effects from Cloak, she can deal out significant damage, and you're going to see that in these Doom Mystic raids here. Her focus is very high, allowing for a really good chance to land her bleeds and clear enemy buffs. High damage support character, which you'll see she provides healing through regens. So yeah, and then turn offense up. She has that vulnerable attack again. So that's very, very good with this team. Now, I did say that there was a concern with some of their cooldowns. What I did forget is that with Deathpool's ability here, with her passive, on death of any enemy, in raid specifically, on death of enemy, she generates 1 ability energy for 2 random mystic allies. So there's a possible chance that although some of these abilities here are long cooldowns, that because you're killing enemies here, she's kind of acting like Thanos. Even though it's at random, she's going to be given that ability energy. So some of these cooldowns may actually not be that big of a deal. But let's jump into these Doom Mystic raid footage here and see how this team performs together, and then we'll take it from there. All right, the moment we've all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. How does this team perform? I said team perform in these Mystic Doom raids. So this is actually the second to last node. We're gonna take a look at the boss node as well, but second to last node here in these Mystic Doom raids. As you can see, they're using the new Warriors team with Silver Surfer and also with Doom, which is quite interesting. But we're gonna take a look at it here. I'll try my best to kind of narrate what's happening in the video. Silver Surfer is gonna go first. Remember, he's getting that 40% focus from Cloak. Mystic hero allies do get an additional focus here. Sorry, Doom, you're a mystic villain, it doesn't count. But yeah, ability block on Vision, and I think from here, I think Deathpool is going to go next, right? Yeah, so Deathpool's gonna go next. Looks like she's gonna be doing her let me see what it is. Gonna be doing her ultimate ability here, applying the bleed to Falcon, and then we're gonna see this team up mechanic. So Cloak is going with his ability, with his ultimate ability here, teamed up with Dagger, doing that piercing damage and then applying those offense downs, which reduce the speed bar. And next here, we're going to start to see, okay, so Dagger deleted 2 characters, and what to talk about here. So Dagger deleted 2 characters, and remember that every time that an enemy dies, that Deathpool is also going to be given ability energy to her team, it's random, but she's going to be given random ability energy to her allies. But then also she gains an additional attack as well. So on enemy death, she attacks the most injured enemy. So you're going to see her actually do, she should do 2 attacks here. That's one. And then of course, she killed, okay, so she killed them. So I guess that probably negated the extra attack here. I'm not sure if that's how they intend for it to work, but that's what happened here. But as you can see, again, another character got deleted. She did an additional attack to the most injured enemy here. They're spawning with some additional characters. Let's just go take a look at what we're doing here. Okay. All right, so Surfer goes. Quite sure. Okay. I for sure thought that Thing would have died there, right? With the special ability from Silver Surfer, I for sure thought that Thing would have died. Thing must be ultra beefy. Okay, that's her adjacents. She's giving ability energy again. Right, so Cloak got ability energy, Doom got ability energy. Every time that the enemy dies, man, you're seeing Deathpool go and taking an additional attack. That's really, really strong. This is Dagger's ult. Once again, enemy dies, she's giving Deathpool's giving ability energy. She's also doing additional attacks to the most injured enemy as well. So really, really strong team right now. Like I said, man, they are looking like probably the so Doom Mystic raids right now are good, right? They're not a problem. They're definitely not a problem right now. But I will say that if you're looking at these Doom 2 raids, which is going to be coming out soon, Doom 1.1, you're probably going to want to grab this team, right? If you have an opportunity to do so. The question is, can you get good red stars on these characters? I do think that really and ideally, you're probably going to want to get good red stars on each one of these new warrior characters, right? And do you have enough red star orbs in order to be able to do so? But I will say this, I do think that they work quite well together. I don't necessarily know if you need Silver Surfer as an additional damage dealer here. I feel like the team itself, New Warriors, can do enough damage themselves in order to be able to get you through. So I don't necessarily know if you need them, but Ebony Maw being able to do that additional offense down may actually be relevant for this team. But let's take a look at some other, but obviously Silver Surfer is probably the best Mystic Ray character along with Doom, so I definitely can understand using them. Well, let's take the boss node here and see how they perform there. All right, so this is the boss, the Doom Mystic boss footage here. So we're gonna take a look at that. This one has Doom in it. As you can see, very interesting, right? You have this teal gear that we're taking a look at in game. So we're gonna go through this again, guys. We're gonna see how this performs. This is a longer video. Obviously, this is the boss node. I'm using the same comp here again, so some of the cooldowns won't necessarily be ready, but we'll take a look at this here as they kind of go into it. Actually, no, I think some of the cooldowns are actually fine in this video from what I remember. All right, so they're gonna do this at 1 speed, which is kind of what makes this a little bit slower. This is more of a challenging note. So Silver Surfer gonna go first to see who he ability blocks first. Most likely it's gonna be Doom, right? So Doom, ability block, heal block on everybody else. All right, man, watching this in slow-mo kind of bothers me a little bit. It's just like a weird. All right, then we get the ult from Cloak here. Oh, okay, no, from Deathpool. She does her basic. I think they were trying to kind of prolong this fight a little bit to kind of show off some of their skills. I think we're gonna get the ultimate here from Cloak. You're getting that team up, getting the offense down, reducing that speed bar. He's applying the vulnerables as well. I forgot to talk about in the last one. Dagger goes here. She does her ultimate, offense down, and also applying those vulnerables. 2 characters died, Deathpool went, she gave ability energy to the rest of the team, which is what was able to fill up Doom's ultimate here, which is what he's currently doing right now. Now I don't think that they actually allow Doom to do his special here. Once again, ability energy, Deathpool is going off again. Now seriously, man, the mechanic where an enemy dies, Deathpool is given ability energy to random mystic characters, and then she's also giving this then she's also doing this additional attack here with her because of her passive to the most injured most injured enemies. I mean, it's a phenomenal mechanic, honestly, and it works very well in these raids. It's a really strong mechanic. I don't know how. I mean, obviously, if you already have an answer already, I can see how you maybe want to skip this team, but I don't, just what they're doing so far. I just think that it's really good. It's really good what they're doing so far. They're making these teams, man, they're making these teams unskippable now, right? Everything is just overpowered, just so strong. This is a new wave of Marvel Strike Force right now. That's really what it is. If this is a new wave of Marvel Strike Force, these older characters that you once used to use, the Hellas, the Ebony Maws, they're just starting to get outclassed now, and it's sad because of they're legendary characters, right? So it's kind of feels bad, I guess, but I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, this is definitely, it's like I said, I don't know what their release method is gonna be, but this is just very, like, we're doing this right now in 2 speed, mostly 1 speed for most of the matchup, and they're clearing this node with ease. I'm using a comp right now with Ebony Maw, Thanos, the Silver Surfer, Hela, and Doom, and I'm timing out on this node. But look at how they're going through this node. They're mowing them down, and they did this in like 2 speed. Insanity. Is this team a team that you're gonna want to get in Marvel Strike Force? Like, heck yeah. What's their release method gonna be? We know Deathpool is definitely gonna be an event campaign character. We don't know about Cloak and Dagger. I don't think that Strike Pass is probably going to be one, because we know that Captain Sam is going to be going to the Strike Pass, I think probably starting today, right? So listen, man, this team is just very strong. They look very good. Are they a must-have? Probably. I'm even wondering about some of their viability, maybe in some of the other content. Cloak and Dagger are Hero City characters, so using them in Hero 7-1 if you can get your hand on them. If you're a new player looking to do that content now, if you can get these characters, I definitely recommend getting these characters. But yeah, they look very strong, guys. This team is amazing. We're going to see what Shang-Chi looks like in game as well. So that's probably going to be another strong character for Heroes for Hire. So really, guys, these characters that are coming into Marvel Strike Force now are extremely powerful characters. And a lot of them just seem like they are unskippable. Listen, appreciate you guys watching the video. Leave in the comments what your guys' thoughts are on this team, this new Warriors team, on the mechanics that you're seeing so far. The vulnerable, they're applying vulnerable on their ultimate. I don't know, man. It's crazy. But listen, appreciate you guys watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Until next time, y'all be blessed and y'all be safe. Holy crap, Ola, this team is bananas, dude. Oh man, Power Leap Central, dude. Power Leap Central. Wow. OMG.